Hi there, I'm Robbie Swale. I'm a coach based in London, and I'm here, on this dark, windy night in Battersea to record this short video. It's a video about why I sell coaching packages as me being someone's coach over a period of time, rather than me being someone's coach for a period of sessions. The idea for this video came because I had a great phone call with a new coach who just finished his training that I know, called Sam, and he came with a list of questions for me because we'd had a brief exchange about pricing and coaching packages and all that kind of thing. And after his brilliant questions, I left the call and thought I really should have recorded that, because I've thought a lot about this, a lot about how to run my business, a lot about why what I do works and when it doesn't work as well and what to change. And I've learned from a lot of people, like I'm a kind of serial learner, get really interested in the business of coaching and who does it, and want to learn from them as well as the practice of coaching. And I see it a lot. I feel like sometimes it's, you see it on someone's website and I just think, well, you could just be serving your clients so much more powerfully and making life so much easier for you if you just sold your coaching differently. Now, of course, this is all my thinking, and everyone, there's many successful coaches out there who do things very differently to me, I'm sure. So the offer here is, listen to me, see what I have to say. If you're a coach, take on board the things that sound great and leave the ones that don't. And remember that, anything you steal from anyone ever, when you deliver it, it's never going to be theirs, right? It's always going to have your flavor. So I'm going to start by talking a little bit about my journey, or the journey of my coaching packages. When I first started, the first coaching I sold 6 sessions for 1 hour each every 2 weeks for £180, so £30 a session. And I sold 2 of those in one day, and my mind blew that people were up for this with me and that they would pay me money. And then I played that out, I think, with 4 or 5, maybe 6 clients actually. Although a couple of them one of them was shorter and one of them was slightly different. But I played that out. And as I did it, I noticed some things. And in particular, there were 2 times when I wanted to do extra coaching with people, and I felt like the way I was selling it wasn't serving me, it wasn't helping me help the clients. Those 2 things were, one, so at the start of the engagement, we'd set some objectives for that engagement for those 6 sessions. And with one of my early clients, we weren't there. We needed an extra session. And in the end, I gave it to him. And I felt like this is the thing I need to do because we need to get there, right? But I also had this thought, but shouldn't he be paying me an extra £30? Now, £30 is nothing to a lot of people like that. But at the time, for me, it was still am I being undervalued here? Am I undervaluing myself? And the second one was a client who in the middle of the engagement had an important meeting or something going on at home and really wanted to have an extra conversation with me, knew that coaching would help. And yet asking became an awkward conversation because am I going to charge her an extra amount of money? Awkward for her, she has to think about that. Awkward for me because then I have to go, well, look, I just want to help this woman, right? So why should I be thinking about do I have to have a money conversation here? That's not helping anyone. And then at some point now, I bought some coaching from a new coach, Joel Monk, and Joel sold me 6 months of coaching. I signed up for a 6-month engagement, and it was more money than I expected to pay, but I also got a lot more coaching than I was expecting to get. I'd never come across anyone selling coaching like that. And as I reflected on what I was going to sell from then on, I realized I wanted to move more in that direction. So I'd noticed that also my 6 sessions tended not to fit equally into every 2 weeks. So I decided not to sell the 3 months, which would have just been what I was selling, but calling it months, but make it 4, because then we'd get that work done. And if we needed an extra session on the end, we'd get it. And that's what I sold. Until about 6 months ago, that's the package I've sold pretty much to everyone that has signed up with me. Not to everyone, because sometimes it's not quite right, and I do some associate work as well, but that's been my preferred way of working. And the way it works is, we have sessions, they're 60 or 90 minutes, they're every 2 or 3 weeks usually. And here's the important point. So you can see the flexibility already built in there. I knew that was important. But here's the important point. Here's what solves the first part of solving that problem that I'd seen, which is that what I say to clients is, if you need some extra time with me, you can get in touch. Something comes up, like often it does. In fact, I tell clients, it happens with most of my clients. At some point during the engagement, something will turn up. There'll be a difficult meeting that'll just be dumped on you, or a presentation, or maybe you'll just have a terrible day. Or something will go on, a new opportunity, and you'll think, you know what, I'd really like some extra time with Robbie on this. I think he could really help me. And so at that point, they can just get in touch. And what I tell them is, if I've got the time, I'd love to support them, because I love being with my clients on their journey. And the other piece is, it's usually every 2 or 3 weeks, but sometimes we need a bigger break than that. There's a big project going on, everyone's busy, we can have a longer break. And more commonly, sometimes we need to put more sessions in. I had one client who had a big review meeting at the end of the first month of our engagement. So we did a session a week pretty much for that first month to get her ready for that meeting, to get all our work up and going. And then we just carried on a 2 or 3 week pattern for the rest of the engagement. But that was really powerful, and a powerful part of it for her. And that's how I played for quite a while, for probably like 18 months. And then about 6 months ago, I realized that that wasn't quite serving me anymore. And I've extended that minimum amount of work that I do to 6 months. For me, that now enables me to be more ambitious with our work with the client. It enables me to help a client really embed the learning and the changes they want to make. And I just feel like it serves them better, especially the type of client that I'm working with now. More and more leaders, more and more people with an ongoing reason for coming to coaching rather than a single issue, where 4 months serves quite well on a kind of single issue, settling into a new role or a career change. So there are a couple of reasons, that's the story really, and then there are a couple of reasons I want to draw out about objective setting that I think are really powerful about a time period rather than a number of sessions. So the way I start all my engagements is creating some objectives. What will success look like for us? Or these days I quite often call it, what's the vision for your next 6 months that we'll work towards? And I don't know if you can already see it, right? What's the vision? What's your vision for the next 6 months of your life, right? That's a question that I can feel. It's really different to say, what's your vision of success after 6 coaching sessions? Because even I as a coach don't really know, I can't feel what that means. I don't really know it. And if you've just come to coach fresh and you got a choice between 2 things, you got me saying, so after 6 coaching sessions, how will we know we've succeeded? And you're like, I don't know, we don't really know what can happen in 6 coaching sessions. But if I'm saying, after 3 months, what will have changed so that we'll know we've succeeded? Well, I got a feel for 3 months. And more than that, I got a feel for 6 months, right? I know where I was 6 months ago, and I know that a lot can change in that time. So I can get into, well, what do I want to change in this 6 months? There's also a piece about, and this is also a little bit about why I like to play over a longer time period. But there's also something, I think, about the ambition of the goals. So people find it quite hard to set ambitious goals for coaching work. Like those of you who have read some of my writing or worked with me before will know that I tend to play the objectives or the vision on 3 levels. The first is what will success look like? The second is, and what would have to happen for this engagement to be really extraordinary? And the third is, and what's the impossible goal? Now over coaching sessions, again, this gets like confusing, a bit murky. Why is it going to be 18 months once a month? Or is it going to be, is those 18 sessions going to happen in 6 months, right? And no matter what you say, you'll find that there's more movement, or I've found, whenever I've charged by the session, there's more fluidity than I imagine there'll be, no matter how carefully I contract with when those sessions take place. And so you can set ambitious goals. Because people know, well, what normally changes for me in 6 months? Okay, well, like my work gets a bit better and my relationships get a bit better. But what I would like to happen is this and this and this. And what would be really extraordinary over 6 months? Well, that's this slightly bigger transformation that I'm a bit nervous to say. And what's the impossible goal? Well, that's finding a business partner who's going to take me to the next level. Like, I don't believe that's really possible. Someone that I genuinely love. And then you know that about a 6 month period. You know that about a year. You know what you achieved last year. You know what you achieve in the next year. You can really feel it. There's a little sidebar for coaches, clients, close your ears. It sounds better value. Because if you're paying Because let's think about this, right? Clients, you can open your ears. Actually, there's some stuff for you here too. So, let's think about a year, and let's think about an engagement that might cost £6,000. So, over a year, if you're doing sessions every 2 or 3 weeks, you might do 22, 25 sessions. Let's say it's 22. We're going to have some Christmas holiday, going to have some holiday in the summer, when we're not going to do sessions. So it's going to cost you, the fee for this engagement is £6,000 for 22 coaching sessions. I don't really know what that means. That sounds like a lot of money. It's more expensive than my personal trainer or my plumber, right? 22 sessions, I'm starting doing the sums in my head. It's like, they're an hour and a half, so how many hours is that? Maybe 30 hours, divide it all up, and then you get into this scarcity comparison place. The alternative is this. So I'm a coach, I'm going to be by your side when you need me for the next 12 months. And the fee for that is £6,000. And suddenly that's different. Suddenly I'm paying for a companion on the journey. That for me as a coach is what I want to be, right? I want to be with someone, supporting them, opening their eyes, opening their mind, changing their perspectives as they go from where they are now to somewhere extraordinary. I want to be with them for that 6 or 12 month period. And you can see, for me, it feels totally different. And I feel excited by paying 6,000 or 10,000 or 3,000 or whatever the amount of money is, pounds or euros or dollars, to have a really cool coach with me on my journey. Sessions? I'm not so sure. And if you think this is just sales chat, just think about what people are really paying for. Are they really paying for your time? No. They're paying for you to get them where they want to be. They're paying for you to create some massive change in their lives, insights, events out there, practical stuff and internal stuff. They're not paying for you by the hour, because we both know, all coaches know, that magic happens between the sessions as well. And it happens partly because of the commitment they make to themselves. And all that goes with the coaching. It's not just the time you're there. And when you get into that place, that's a place of comparison and lack and scarcity, rather than a place of possibility and excitement. And a final piece on scarcity to finish, I guess. I see it with clients, like, if you charge by the sessions, one of the things I see is and I said this already, the kind of fluidity of when they happen. Now, I've noticed when I book a set of sessions that particularly towards the end, particularly the last ones, I tend to get pushed back and back. And I think there's two parts of that, right? One of the part is probably resistance. It's like, I don't want to have to finish this. I haven't done all the stuff yet. I want to get out of it, right? I know what I want to achieve by the end of these 12 sessions, and I haven't done it all yet, so I'm going to push that back. I'm just going to not reply to the email. And the other one is probably more for coaches. It's like, I'm chasing around after those people. I'm emailing them, and that's no good, right? That's no good at all. And the difference is palpable. The incentives of a time-bound engagement are just really different. The truth is, if I've chased them a couple of times and they're not booking in sessions, then it's them that's losing out. But also, they don't get to shirk out of achieving their goals just by pushing the session back. Because they've got this time period where I'm not going to be with them anymore. And there's going to be an end, and it's going to be there. And I know someone who's got some sessions in the bank from her coach from years ago. And I just don't see how that serves her. Like, she's just waiting. She's thinking, this might be the last coaching session I ever had with this person. Is this the right time to use it? Is it now? What if there's another time down the line where I need it more? Whereas instead, if the engagement is ending in 3 weeks, that person has to face that. And they have to face, have I achieved this thing or not? Will I do it between now and the end of this engagement or not? If not, why not? And one of my favorite things, all those decisions are just taken out of a client's mind when they're thinking about working with a coach for 6 months. Because then all they really have to decide is this a 6-month period in which I want to change my life? Is this a 12-month period in which I want to change my life? And do I want this person, is this the person to help me create something extraordinary? So I really hope that you've taken some things from this video. It's been super fun to record it, and I'm excited to see how you use this and what you gain from it, and keep getting out there and keep changing lives.